No, what I've said, I never said that I was recognizing the government even at that time. But that was a time also before the whistleblower came out with a glaring evidence, which we also had ourselves. That evidence was available to us. But the whistleblower came out as an insider and came out with irrefutable evidence of the rigging of the elections. That information which is there, I want to invite you to know, is information that is verifiable. We had ourselves also hired an expert from outside the country. You will remember we were in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, our lawyers demanded that we be allowed access to the server so that we can be able to get authentic information. The Supreme Court said they agreed, but the collusion of one of the judges who was in charge of the ICT, the registrar did not allow our people access to the server. Our experts were there. A letter came from the company that was offering providing the services, Smartmatics, saying that they cannot allow access to the server because that will infringe on their proprietary rights. Here is a company hired by the government, paid to provide the technical services for the country. And there's a dispute over the results. And one of the parties to the dispute is asking to be allowed access to the server, so because that is where the information went. And the company is refusing to allow us access to the server. And then later on, the Supreme Court comes out and saying, we do not have a case. Now, I think it is important for me to point out to the members here, the structure that was in place on the 9th of August, when Kenyan people went to vote. That structure you had what you call the Kim system. The voters were being identified biometrically. And after they've been identified, they're being given ballot papers to go and cast. At the end of the day, these ballot papers were being counted. And after they've been counted, then the presiding officer at the polling station would enter them in a form that they call for 34A. That 34A will be completed. Then the presiding officer would sign. And then the agent would countersign. Then the presiding officer would announce the results publicly. And then he would scan those results and press a button to transmit to the server. Then he would paste a copy of the results in a wall somewhere. Then he would go with that from 34A to the tallying center, constituency tallying center, where there's a returning officer. The presiding officer will come with from 34A there. And the returning officer will receive 34As. And then it would be added. This is now on from 34B. They will be added, and after they will be added, you will sign with this ID number, telephone number. Then the agent of the parties will countersign. Then he will stamp the IB stamp. Then he will announce the results, and then he will again scan and transmit. Those are the results which are authentic. Now, the information available in the whistleblower's report there has authentic original results from 245 constituencies. Barcode also there. That barcode, if you scan, tells you the location, the date, the time when that transmission was done. It cannot be copied. It's authentic. So I want you to know that the report in the IBC whistleblower is authentic report, authentic information. It shows that at 245 constituencies, Mr. William Ruto got 4.6 million votes, and we got 7.1 million votes. If you add the 45 which were not transmitted electronically, where the returning officers came with the physical forms to IBC Center at Bomas. If you take those results and now add up 245 plus 45, that's 290 constituencies, plus the diaspora, then Mr. William Ruto gets 5.9 million votes, and we get 8.1 million votes. A difference of 2.2 million votes. That is authentic. Cannot be denied, cannot be contradicted. The IBC cannot contradict it. They're just now saying somebody must have probably get crashed in there and got information. That's the investigation they're doing. But they will not come out and say this is not authentic information. And that's why we're saying, if you're denying, let us have an independent institution like the Commonwealth or the AU to come and access the server and audit it. Audit of the server. But on the basis of that information, we are saying, it's not that we are lamenting. If this matter is not rectified, what would be the reason for Kenya to wake up again in 2027 to go to an election?